What's shakin', pipe drivers? I'm James at Pipedrive, and I'm about to tell you all about the new improvements that we've made to Pipedrive in the last month or so. Just in case you missed it. First, let's talk about all the improvements that we made across all of our pricing plans. Starting with a brand new feature called Leads Inbox, a better way to keep track of your leads and convert them to deals. You can manually add leads or import them via spreadsheet, or work with other lead generation tools like Lead Booster to bring the leads in automatically. As new leads come in, you see that the newest leads are highlighted in bold and are floating at the top of our list here. This is because the newest leads that come in will always be first on your list, letting you act quickly while it's hot, which should lead to better conversions. From here, you can add labels to your leads, schedule activities, and add notes. Leads with activities scheduled for them already can be found here. But so once our leads have labels associated with them, it's pretty easy to filter these leads by those labels, as well as the owners of those leads. Now let's say we're ready to convert this lead into a deal. They just seem super interested, right? We can just select any pipeline or stage in our accounts to convert this lead into. And when we do, we see that it's even carried over a history of our previously recorded activities and notes. Yeah. So you can learn more about the Leads Inbox in the Academy, but you basically get the picture. Rather than filling your pipeline stages with hundreds of cold leads, you can fill the Leads Inbox with these leads, qualify them, and then send them to your sales pipelines so you know that any leads in those pipelines are much more qualified and hot, and at the end of the day, this makes you and the pipeline view far more focused and effective. So give it a try. This is only the first edition of Leads Inbox, and we have plenty more leads-oriented features coming your way soon, so stay tuned. Next up, let's revisit app extensions. A good number of integrations that work with Pipedrive have the added bonus of including app extensions within Pipedrive itself. Well, now you can share your own integrations extensions with the rest of the users in your Pipedrive account. Just head on over to your Marketplace Manager and toggle the privacy settings as desired. Now let's look at custom fields. We've renamed this simply to data fields and brought a lot more control over your fields and data entry in one centralized place. So what's changed? Well, you now can select which type of data profile you want to create a custom field for, and while creating your fields, you can define if you want this custom field to be prompted for other users while they create them. So for example, let's say we always want to track the industry that an organization is in. Let's make sure that it appears not only when users go to create a new organization, but also when they create a new deal. Furthermore, we can set this field to always be visible in its detail view even if it's empty. Even better, this will now also be included in the Pipedrive mobile app. So you can have all the data that you would need to enter all in one place at one time. No need to go back in later and finish updating information. Big time saver. Now this may be old news to some of you, but if you happen to have a deactivated user in Pipedrive, and they used to own a lot of data or something, you can now find all of their data under the deactivated users filter. This is available in all of your filter views. Now for the advanced plan, we've made some more improvements to the products feature. We talked last month about how we improved the UI and added new functions such as the ability to include taxes and create a new deal with multiple products attached to it from the product list view. But here's what else is new. First of all, we've added new data fields for a category and description. But remember, you can always add more custom fields yourself anyway. If you go directly into your product profile to view all deals that are associated with it, you can now customize the columns in the Deal tab according to your needs. And whenever you export this list, it will export the columns that you've specified here. Also, when you go to add products directly to deals, you can search for the product by its name, code, or category. And while we're at it, if you happen to love using workflow automation, then you'll be jazzed to know that workflow automation now works with your product catalog. So for example, we can set up a workflow so that whenever a deal is moved into a specific stage of a pipeline, that it automatically gets these products attached to it. But you can get far more specific if needed. Now for our professional plan, you can now define any level of visibility while you use workflow automation. Before this was more limited, but since you're able to set up multiple groups of users with varying levels of visibility, we just made sure that all types were available when defining your workflows. Then let's go back to the mobile apps for a second. We already mentioned that custom fields can be added to the panel whenever you create a new deal or contact, but now for both Android and iOS, you can follow any item in Pipedrive, a deal, person, or organization, etc. Then when any updates are made to that item, you'll get notified about it. This was already possible in the web version, but now you can do it in the palm of your hand. Specifically for Android users, you can now utilize labels for your contacts and add other contacts as participants to a deal. Last of all, the Pipedrive Help Center is much easier to find, which, if you don't know, contains our Academy videos, knowledge base, and community. Remember to visit the What's New section there for more product updates, but don't miss out on the live and on-demand webinars you can enjoy there also. And that's a wrap, everybody. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much for your attention. And until next time, Pipedrivers.